Hello, I'm very pleased to introduce to you my chapter in the Routledge Handbook of Political Epistemology. My chapter looks at norms of political deliberation. By political deliberation, I mean this broad, multifaceted process through which we scrutinize our political options and hold our political leaders to account. So political deliberation takes place in Parliament and in Cabinet, for example, but it also takes place in political parties and in the exchanges between political parties. And it involves interest groups such as an animal rights group or more organized social movements such as Black Lives Matter. Increasingly and importantly, political deliberation takes place in the media, not just the old media, TV, radio, newspapers, but the new media, the social media, Facebook, Twitter, etc. To facilitate good political decision-making, political deliberation should satisfy some norms. But what norms should govern political deliberation to help us make good political decisions and hold our political leaders to account? Until recently, political philosophers have primarily focused on what I call participation norms. So they focused on norms that secure access of people, of viewpoints, to the public sphere. A free speech norm is a good example of a participation norm, but so is a norm of equal respect. Participation norms are extremely important for well-functioning political deliberation. They secure inclusivity and make sure that all viewpoints are heard. But it seems to me, if recent political events have taught us one thing, it's that participation norms are not sufficient. It also matters what is being asserted in political deliberation. Political deliberation that is fueled by disinformation, misinformation, fake news, can't function well, won't lead to good political decisions, and won't serve to hold political leaders to account. So in addition to participation norms, I argue in this chapter, political deliberation should also satisfy some epistemic norms. And in my chapter, the bulk of it is dedicated to discussing alternative candidate epistemic norms of political deliberation. I consider a truth norm, a knowledge norm, a justified belief norm, which holds that you should only contribute on the basis of what you have justification to believe, not just make stuff up. And I consider a very weak norm, which I called an avoiding falsehood norm, which I'm quite optimistic would get us some way towards well-functioning political deliberation. I also consider what I call procedural epistemic norms. Towards the end of the chapter, I discuss two such norms. They focus on how we should respond to each other in political deliberation. And one important norm that I consider in that final part of the chapter is what I call an epistemic justice norm. Thank you very much.